Thought Bubble Audio.
Look, up in the sky!
You will never find the more wretched hive of scum and villainy.
Welcome to Beer with Geeks with Tim and Frank.
Who are you?
I'm Batman.
I am Iron Man.
Your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man.
Hi, Christopher. I'm Nero.
My name is Inigo Montoya.
You're a wizard, Harry.
A couple of guys with a couple of beers and a whole lot of pop culture nostalgia.
Make it so, number one.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Beatles.
Name the dog Indiana.
Life finds a way.
I am serious. And don't call me Shirley.
Now sit back and crack open a cold one, because it's time for Beer with Geeks.
It comes in pints?
Shaken, not stirred.
Great Scott!
I was way off. I knew it started with an S, though.
Hi, and welcome to Beer with Geeks, where two geeks geek out with beer in the same room. I'm Tim, and with me, as always, it's my friend who's got a bomb in the back of his neck. It's Frank. How are you today?
I'm good. Just don't turn the key and flip the switch and everything. But
can I yell really well?
You can, but you don't have to because we're right across from each other. I can see you.
I can see you.
First Beer with Geeks we have recorded in person since February 2020.
That's wow, really?
Yes.
Whoa.
Last time was at your place.
Hey, isn't that fun?
Yeah.
We always used to swap, and even though
true.
we took it's at almost 2 years, we still swapped.
We took a year and a half off.
Yeah.
We still swapped. So good for us. Cheers to that.
Cool.
But yeah, what you drinking?
I'm drinking a beer that was in your fridge.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, by the way. And this is Mama's Little Yella Pils from the Oskar Blues Brewery. It is a Bohemian Pilsner. I love a good Pilsner. Mama's Little Yella Pils from Oskar Blues Brewery.
Nice.
Where is this brewery?
I don't know where Oskar Blues is actually, but I do see a lot of it.
Colorado. Longmont, Colorado.
Okay, there you go. I've also got an Oskar Blues. Clearly, I picked up.
Oh, they're in a bunch of places. Sorry, Brevard, North Carolina, North Carolina, and Austin,
Texas. Huh. Very cool.
Yeah. You're also drinking from the Oskar Blues.
Also, an Oskar Blues, a Gunite, G apostrophe night with a K. Gunite. It's an Imperial red IPA.
Oh man, I love a good red.
Yeah, it's nice. It's a red IPA, which is like
unusual.
Yeah. But very good.
Almost like it's from the twisted mind of somebody.
Ah, yes. Much like that, in fact.
From the twisted mind of James Gunn comes Good Night Beer. Like, wait, what? Man, I wish that they were still like voiceover like things.
Oh, yeah.
What a great job that was.
Like the Don LaFontaine, the guy who did In a World.
Yeah, exactly. Well, we were I say we because you know who I was talking about. My wife and I, for some inexplicable reason, decided to start watching Xena the Warrior Princess.
Okay, you mentioned this earlier offhandedly, and I wondered if that was
real. So like
the original we're talking about.
The original.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Well, the original, like 1995. Is there a different one?
I don't know. I thought there was a reboot after that. I don't know.
Oh, I don't know. Okay, I knew that there's like the final season.
Okay,
but I don't know if anyway. That's not.
But important. Lucy Lawless, like the original.
Exactly. Yeah. So we were like, well, just last night we were like, oh, we needed something that, like, I was like, we've been watching the How to Train Your Dragon movies because they're bomb. They're so good. But like, I was so tired that I just couldn't do something with like children's yelling.
Oh, sure.
You know how that goes?
The high energy.
Yeah, the high energy of a kid's movie. So for whatever reason, we ended up on Xena. Like, we weren't looking for it. I don't even know how we like got there, but whatever. I was like, I'll put on the first episode, just like because you know what, it's 90s television, so even at its like peak, it's like not really that loud or anything. And so we ended up watching the whole first episode because it's just like unadulterated whimsy. Like, and you just don't really get television like, because it's pre-Sopranos. And that and the Sopranos changed television. And so all of a sudden it's like everything is serious.
Right.
You know, because it's the world after the Sopranos where you can have serious drama on television.
Yes.
And so there's just still like this like laissez-faire attitude to Xena. We ended up watching the whole first episode, and my wife, who like only barely watched it growing up, like just like was aware of it kind of thing, she was like, that was good, I'll watch the second one. And I was like, All right, I guess we're watching Xena. All right,
Nice.
So I guess we're just gonna watch Xena now.
So how far are you now?
We only watched 2 episodes, but
Okay.
I mean, it's 134 episodes.
Okay.
So I mean, it's fun. I mean, it's stupid.
I
but
remember
it's
it
fun.
being very swashbuckling and fun.
It's very fun. It's Red Sonja.
Yeah.
But ancient, quote unquote, ancient Greece.
Right.
Yeah, it's a little bit of Wonder Woman. It's a little bit of Red Sonja.
Yeah.
Conan the Barbarian. It's all that wheelhouse.
Right.
They didn't have the rights to Red Sonja or Conan, so they made Hercules and
And
Warrior
Xena Warrior Princess. Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. But
Interesting.
but it's fun. It's shot in New Zealand, so we're like, oh, so pretty.
Was it? I
Yeah,
didn't
it's so
realize that.
pretty. Yeah. But anyway, this I don't remember how we even got from
Don't know either.
there. We're here to talk about the Suicide Squad.
We are.
Who cares about transitions?
From the mind of James Gunn.
From the twisted mind of James Gunn, we get the Suicide Squad. Did you go to the theater? Or did you watch it at home?
Watched it at home.
I also watched it at home.
Yep.
They just announced that they're not going to do that in 2022.
45-day windows.
45 days. It used to be 90 days.
Used to be 90 days. Now it's 45 days.
45 is not bad. I can wait. If I can't make it to the theater,
Yeah, I can wait 45 days.
I mean, I wouldn't. Let's say like a movie that I really want to see. Like I'll try my best to get there.
Oh, yeah.
because I don't want to wait 45 days. But I know, like, if you just can't get there, a month and a half, not a terribly long time.
And honestly, that's when you're going to make the money, right? It's in that first 6 weeks.
Yes, that's right.
Outside of after that, it is basically for spite. It's basically like we're not releasing it on like VOD or to purchase because we say so. There needs to be an artificial window. So 45 days is fine.
That's right.
I will miss this moment we're in of having the choice. I do love having the choice.
Yeah, because I would, if it wasn't a raging pandemic, I would go to the movie theater to see this.
Yeah,
it's not like a, oh, I guess I'll see it movie. Like I've watched a few on HBO Max that were like, I guess I'll see it because it's it's here and it's free. This is one I
was going to see this either way. This and like Wonder Woman 84, like I was going to see those no matter what.
Correct.
So having the ability to watch them at home was really nice.
Yep.
But I also get that they made these movies wanting the $1 billion box office, and that they intend to go back to that. So I get it, but I'll miss the flexibility. But I have heard different things from folks who watched it in the theater. And I think generally speaking, people tend to enjoy these movies a little more in the theater than they do at home.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, even for me, like I had to wait till it was almost like 10 o'clock by the time I got to watch it. And so you're like kind of sleepy, and then like the dog needs to go out, the cat's crying to get fed.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden I paused the movie 3 or 4 times and I'm like, you've interrupted the flow of the movie.
Right.
And so like a movie theater demands your attention.
Correct.
And so, it does change
the experience.
Yeah. So that being said, I enjoyed this movie despite all the interruptions from my animals.
I did too. Yeah. I had a couple of interruptions as well, but I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it a good bit. I liked the sort of casual premise of sort of like, we assemble a squad whenever they're like one of the, like, it's not like a permanent team. It's not like we're putting together the Justice League. It's like, no, we put together a squad, they go do a job, and then we send them back. Like that sort of temporary one-off idea of like, every time we need them, we assemble them.
Exactly. And I actually, the big spoilers for the Suicide Squad here on out, I'll just make it easy. I really like that at the beginning, like a lot of the setup of this movie is squads A and B.
Yeah.
And so you see the annihilation of Squad A, knowing that their job is really just cannon fodder. They're the front line on D-Day or whatever, right?
Right.
That they're probably going to get hit.
Yeah.
And I like that because it's the Suicide Squad. Therefore, you expect somebody to die and not like the token person.
Yeah.
You establish that anybody can die at any time. And going into the movie, you pretty much know that anybody can die at any time except for Harley Quinn.
Pretty much.
Yeah, pretty much anybody's like on the table, off the table. Actually, did you have characters you expected to die that did die versus not? Like, what were you thinking?
I didn't think Joel Kinnaman. I didn't think
Rick Flag.
Flag was going to die.
No, me either.
I didn't think Michael Rooker would either, just because he's Michael Rooker.
I assumed he was going to die.
Okay,
actually.
Okay,
yeah.
But then, like, pretty much the rest of like the A squad, I was sort of like Nathan Fillion is. I mean,
those you kind of always knew.
Yeah,
because even just the characters they were playing.
It was really the characters.
That's
I'm saying Nathan Fillion. I don't remember his. Oh, did you?
He's the K something. He's the arms fall off boy.
Yeah. But yeah, so like they're just you can tell like okay, that's just like you're basically a filler character, like
right.
But Rooker, for example, I was like, well, he's a bigger name, so he's gonna at least make it, partway through the movie. Nope.
Yeah, I mean, even the character he's playing, he played Savant, and who is not, I would not say a big league villain by any stretch, but he had a long stint in Birds of Prey, that when Gail Simone was writing it. So, like, are you going to be around a little bit longer, whatever else? But sometimes it's just the name actor. Like, you kind of know that, I don't know, Idris Elba might make it longer, but I actually assumed that he was going to die just because I was like, does Idris want to do multiple movies?
Oh, yeah.
So, like, I figured that he would die, or the way that the story was going, like, is he like, he can't be there for his daughter, so maybe like, Ratcatcher 2 like takes that place, or like something like that.
Yeah,
but
sure.
Yeah, but let's go from the beginning and just kind of work our way through. Because there's as much as there's fodder. So speaking of characters that die, Captain Boomerang dies.
Yeah,
which like that's. I mean, an original team member, the original Suicide Squad.
Yes.
I liked that they clearly had they were written to have a rapport with one another.
Yeah.
Like, oh, Harlos, what are you doing back?
Right, I love that.
Yeah, I liked that too. Like, I liked there was a sense of history, even though there's no reference to the previous film, which there doesn't need to be.
Doesn't need to be.
That one mission is done. There's no reason to refer back to it.
Exactly.
The sequel doesn't mean that it has to continue the story. It just means that it's the next story.
Right. Yeah, exactly. But it was cool little like nod to the continuity because we've all seen them together. So to acknowledge it is not all of us, but many of us have seen them together. So anyone who saw the first movie. So it's cool to have that like acknowledgement of it. I enjoyed that for what it was. But yeah, I was surprised that he. So they made it very clear from the beginning, like no one is safe. Like no one is safe. Like you assume Harley Quinn is safe. But pretty much everyone else is sort of on the table.
That's right. You don't go to you don't go to a Batman movie expecting Batman to die.
No.
You expect him. It's more, or James Bond. Like, how are you going to save the day? It's not. I'm not so much worried about the peril about you. It's the peril around you that matters. And this one, it's basically the peril around Harley, but everybody else is potentially screwed.
Yeah.
And.
Yeah, so in the way that like unfolds, I mean Harley getting taken like hostage, was there were a lot of sort of twists. I hesitate to use the word twist because like again you kind of knew she was going to get out, but did you think that the other team was going to rescue her, or did you think she'd get herself out?
I assumed that she was going to get herself out, but also it was in the trailer that she got herself out.
Like I didn't watch much in terms of trailers.
Oh, okay, that's it.
Intentionally.
The one where like Bloodsport is like up the building and Rick Flag's like, "We're here to rescue you." And she's like, "Oh, I can go back inside if I want."
Oh, see, yeah, no, I didn't.
Like that's it was a really good plan too. Like
that was hilarious.
It was
that was a very funny moment.
Yeah, it was. It was great. I just like it was a really good plan. Too.
I know.
Like it really wasn't.
It really was not a good plan. But I love, I can go back inside.
Yeah.
It's like, nah.
But even like, I mean, Flag's a military guy.
Yeah.
He's not a criminal. He's the straight edge. Like, he's the straight edge guy.
Yeah.
And even like, Harley has affection for him and like I want to go and give you a hug and
that's
like
right,
all this stuff. We have a history together, and I really liked that writing in here because that's what Gunn was good at, right? He did it.
Yes.
He did it in Scooby-Doo, for crying out loud, right? Like that's why that movie actually kind of works.
Yeah.
For how bonkers it is because like there's a sense of rapport amongst the main characters.
And that's what he's really good at. He's really good at that like ragtag group dynamic and giving them rapport.
That's right.
He's very, very good at it. Who was Sean Gunn in this movie? I'm just realizing
Sean Gunn played Weasel.
I was gonna say, I bet it was Weasel.
Yeah, he was Weasel, and he was also briefly Calendar Man inside Belle Reve, which they called Belle Reve.
They called it Belle Reve.
and not Belle Rev, which made me really happy because it bothers me that they called it Belle Rev in any version when they say that.
Whenever they say that, it
Belle Reve.
doesn't sit right with me. Yeah, Quarter Maltese. Always love when Quarter Maltese, like those things like Belle Reve and Quarter Maltese that are just sort of mainstays of DC Comics is always fun when those things.
Yeah, and I really like that it fleshes out the Corto Maltesian.
Yes.
Yeah, I enjoyed that it because like it's a non-entity in The Dark Knight Returns. That's where it comes from. They mention it in Batman 89, and like sometimes it comes up in these other things. But here we are we're in another imaginary place.
Yes.
In the DC universe,
Yes.
and I love that because sometimes it's like, oh, you're in Gotham or Metropolis or Themyscira or wherever, and like Atlantis, and those are all fantastical. They're big cities, whatever else. But like, this is a new location.
Yes,
and I really liked that it wasn't just another city.
Yeah, right. The whole like falling regime and Banana Republic type of thing that was going on there was a really interesting story to sort of interweave. And I'm laughing because I'm thinking about Ratcatcher 2 being like, it's not ours, it's not yours, it's theirs. And I was like, oh, she must mean the people of Quarter Maltese. No. I know we'll get there, but
I'm actually having a hard time. Remember what you're...
It was the rats.
Oh,
and
yeah.
they all came and attacked Starro.
That's right. That was right.
But anyway, it's like, it's theirs. It's the rats. The rats own the island. I mean, I guess.
That's gross.
I know.
I mean, it's a good thing that Corto Maltese is not a real place.
Yes.
Otherwise, the Corto Maltesians would be, or whatever, would be quite mad at you.
The tourism board of Quarter Maltese would be suing Warner Brothers right now.
They would not be so happy about
they would
that.
not be thrilled about it.
Nope.
Okay. So yeah, we talk about Harley being detained and kind of pulls. I guess now to think about it, it's kind of like a Black Widow escaping type of scenario in the first Avengers movie.
Oh, right, yeah, a little bit. Yeah, it part of her not being with the squad the whole time to me read like scheduling conflict.
Sure.
I mean, I don't know if that's, but like obviously Margot Robbie's busy.
Yes.
She's very in demand. She's got she's producing a lot, acting a lot, all this different stuff. So if you can film her bits without all these other actors that are also really busy, like it's a little easier to include her in the movie in general. So
I didn't even consider that. I didn't even think about that, but you're probably right about that. And I figured it's more about like just there's demand for like Harley Quinn solo adventures. Like people do love that character now.
Yeah,
us fans have always, but now that she's more up in the public eye. So I assumed it was because of that. I was like, oh, the studio must know that we needed 20 minutes of her in her own storyline. But I didn't even consider, totally scheduling, of course.
I did like her story. I was a little weary on the like woman gets battered, woman gets tortured thing.
Yeah.
But I mean, she's part of the Suicide Squad.
Yes.
But there's that part, but I in some ways it's very much a powerful move for her because like she's playing limp. She's not like, you know what I mean?
Yes.
It's not like I don't know, Casino Royale where James Bond's naked and he's like has to be rescued.
Yeah.
Like somebody's got to come and get him. This is a
power move.
It's a power move on Harley's part. That's right. They think it's not, but it's she's in control.
She was in control the whole time.
That's right. Yeah. And so, but I like that she's written in a way that's like, okay, she's fun, she's charming, but she's still Harley Quinn.
Yeah.
Like her reasoning for killing the general or the dictator, whatever, like. That's messed up.
Yes.
But it's weirdly logical.
Yes.
And that's Harley to a T.
Totally.
And that also follows her progression that we've seen her in 3 films now, right? You got her in Suicide Squad, you get her in Birds of Prey, and now here, and that's a true progression. That's a true character progression that we've gotten from her. Like this is where she is now. So even though she's back in prison because of like
Yeah.
the make believe reason.
Yes,
which
yes.
is also super comics. That's what I kind of really
Totally.
liked about it. Like traffic thingy, and you're like, whatever. It doesn't really matter why she's back in prison because. As much as we love Harley, you can say she's an anti-hero or like make that claim later, but like she's still Harley Quinn.
Harley Quinn.
That's right.
Yeah. There is that like I think of like, you know, going back to like the Fleischer cartoons where it's like, and at the end of the episode, like Superman hand delivers the criminal to jail, like as if that's how it works. Of just like,
Correct.
I just bring you here and now you're in jail. But it's that sort of, this is similar, just sort of like comics hand wavy logic of like, but whatever, because she's Harley, that's why she's in jail. What? Don't ask too many questions.
That's right.
Yeah.
She's Harley Quinn. That's right. Yeah.
That's enough.
She still has a lot of crime. I mean, technically, she was only not in jail before because she escaped.
Right.
So, like, you can't be like, oh, well, she escaped, so it's fine.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, like, that's not,
how that works.
That's not how the Force works.
Yes.
Yes. So there's I liked that. I liked her being there. I thought that Bloodsport was going to be a Deadshot, like fill-in kind of thing. And I mean, some of the stories were similar. Like there's the Donner thing and the prison thing. I don't want to join your squad. I don't want to be the like that stuff is similar, but it's I didn't feel like he was there just to replace Deadshot.
No, it was. It's funny. The first like minute or two, I was like, when he said his name, I was like, I thought Bloodwynd was Martian Manhunter. I was like, wait, no, he's not Bloodwynd.
There's a joke about that later in the movie,
yes,
right?
Yes,
Bloodstain or blood something,
yes.
Bloodsport, Bloodshot, something. I liked that his very comic book reason, like the actual reason that like his claim to fame in the comics is shooting Superman with a kryptonite bullet.
Yeah.
And that's why he's also in prison here. Because somebody
Yes.
was like, oh, where was Superman during the like Starro attack? And there's like a photo of him with like an oxygen mask on.
Yes.
Like he was in the hospital.
Yeah.
Like because of him.
Because of this guy.
Yeah. But I liked I thought he did a good job. He's compelling. I liked the dynamic between Flag and Peacemaker and Bloodsport, because there's like, who's the leader, where's the, who's saying
chain
what,
of command.
the chain of command,
Yeah.
and like all of this, like, where's that coming from? And I mean, really, it's Waller.
Yes.
And it's Waller to Flag to, because it's really Waller to Flag to Bloodsport.
Yes.
But because Flag's taken off the table early in the invasion, because he's part of Team A. Right. And then, so like, I like that it's about a guy who didn't want anything to do with anybody, learning to be a better father, be a hero, be a this, be a that. Like, that's cool. Mm-hmm. I like this. It's a big redemption arc for a lot of these characters.
It is, and it's done in such a. I mean, yeah, Gunn just has a knack for this. Like, he really has a knack for telling this kind of story that doesn't feel. I'm not the big. I've said this many times before. I'm not the biggest fan of the anti-hero story because I feel like it can be overdone sometimes. That we have we're very saturated with that right now. So I went in with my hackles up a little bit because of that, but I really enjoyed it because of the way that he had an arc. Like, Bloodsport had an arc in this movie, and it wasn't sort of gratuitous. There was nothing really gratuitous about it. Some of the violence maybe, but like his story was like had a beginning and a middle and an end. He ended out in a compelling place, and Idris Elba is just a compelling actor to begin with.
Yes. Yep. Yeah, he sells really whatever he's doing.
Yeah,
so
totally.
I thought his outfit was cool too. I know you're less on the costumes than I am, but I like that it really wasn't a costume.
I like the helmet.
The helmet
was so
is
cool.
based off a xenomorph.
Oh, sure it is.
Isn't
Okay,
that, which I was like,
yeah.
That's really cool.
That's totally what that. Yes. Okay.
But I liked that the suit is just. It all combines to be part of the weapon.
Yeah,
and I thought that was very cool. That's a good idea.
It's a cool like action figure.
It is a cool action figure, but it's also like it's Bloodsport's so 90s, like 90s character. Like, I got the giant guns and he's Bloodsport and he's this. But I liked this like update where it's like it's sleek and it's tactical and it's. I thought that was very cool. He also wore the helmet a lot. And that doesn't happen. Like, usually you're like, got to get that actor's face in there.
Absolutely.
And I loved how much he actually wore it. That was cool. Speaking of wearing helmets, Peacemaker. I've always liked John Cena. I'm not a wrestling fan, but like John Cena's just always seems fun.
Sure.
In his own way. But man, he really sold like Peacemaker for me.
He did.
Yeah.
He did. Yeah. I really enjoyed him in this movie. Yeah.
Yeah. I loved how earnest he was in his own belief system. It's like, I believe in peace and I will kill any man, woman, or child to achieve it. You're like, whoa, like calm down. So he's actually, so this is fun. He's a Charlton character.
Okay.
And because the Charlton characters were purchased by DC, and then Alan Moore came along and he's like, I would like to use these Charlton characters to create a book called Watchmen. And they were like, no, we have plans for them. LOL.
Right.
So make up your own. And he's like, okay, I will. So he just took the Charlton characters, the archetype, and changed their names.
Right.
So Peacemaker is the comedian.
Yes.
Which I just think is so fun that now, like, you've got the original flavor on screen.
Yes.
Doing exactly that, because he feels very Vietnam, like jungle, like gonna go and kill any Congolese that I can.
Yes.
Kinda,
Yeah.
Peace at any cost. Like less Captain America.
Yeah.
More comedian.
Right. Yeah, totally. Okay, so the Charlton character, that makes sense why I wasn't, I was like, this one's not really ringing that much of a bell for me.
Very D-list.
Yeah,
Like,
okay.
Most of them are, really.
Yeah.
I mean, people only really know Polka Dot Man because his name's hilarious.
Yeah, correct. Yes. But yeah, so I was like, that one goes over my head, but okay, cool. I'm here for John Cena.
Yeah.
And I always enjoy him. Yeah. He's
I thought that his menace plus his earnestness plus his amazing comedic timing is spot on. Like when he and Bloodsport are taking out what they think is the dangerous group instead of the rebels.
Yes.
Which is sad when you like go back
when they
and,
find
like,
out
they kill that woman who's just like washing clothes and they're like, I didn't see anybody.
There's nobody out there.
But when they're like playing off of one another, doing the thing, but when he goes through and uses his axe on the guy and he's like choop, 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 choop,
yes,
does it. I thought that like that's great physical comedy.
Oh, absolutely.
Like it's very specific, and like his outfit is so dumb, but he still looks menacing in it, and that's very hard to do. Like they even make fun of the like it's not a toilet bowl, it's a beacon of hope.
It's a beacon of hope.
It's so dumb.
But like again, that's the kind of humor. Like I feel like that's sort of Drax the Destroyer humor, right? Of
totally.
Like it's like he is. It's disarming. Like it's there to disarm you because of how like if you took this character as seriously as like he probably would be taken in the comics, it's like a little off-putting. How like no, I will literally kill anybody for peace and liberty.
Yeah. So he actually is the leader of the Suicide Squad in the comics right now because company synergy.
There you go.
And he is deadly serious. Like the charm of John Cena is not present on the page. But I mean that's true of that's true of a lot of comic book movies where like some of the charm that an actor brings to the role because they make it their own might not be present on the page for a less rounded character.
Rick Flag does not usually have as much charm as Joel Kinnaman has.
Joel Kinnaman was a whatever actor to me. Like,
really? You thought so? I really liked him.
No. I'm sorry. Let me get there. Joel Kinnaman was like, it's Joel Kinnaman, whatever. He was RoboCop. That didn't go anywhere. Like, he was fine. Everything's fine. It's fine. It was like, whatever. And then I watched a good chunk of the first season of For All Mankind. I was like, wow, he's actually good. Like, wow, look at that. And then I saw this movie and I was like, I love this guy.
Right?
I'm like, used well, he's great.
Yes.
He's great. Rick Flag was my favorite character of this movie.
Me too.
Yeah.
Me too.
No pun intended, because he was the heart of the movie.
He was.
Like, like this is a guy who, like, if you actually do take the first movie into account, this is a guy that was all military, all this, all that, like this is the line, this is this, stay in line, and then you get here and he's like, hey Harley, hey, like he's like now he's treating them like people.
Yeah.
And then he realizes that he basically realizes I don't know, Operation Paperclip, right? That it's actually the American government behind stuff. And, and the thinker is like the Nazi.
Yeah.
Basically, that's like, I've been working on the space program for 30 years. Like, I don't know where you've been.
Mm-hmm.
And I just really like that. Like, he just like everything I've devoted myself to is just crap. And that's because this is a guy that's also like, yeah, all right, I'll help you overthrow this regime, and I'm gonna like, but I'm also gonna like hug this serial killer.
Yeah.
It's like, and he plays it and he plays it really well. I thought his performance was great, and honestly, I didn't expect him to die. There was a part of me that thought he was going to die because I didn't see him in a lot of the trailers.
Yeah,
but I didn't expect it to go the way that it went, and I'm really sad about it.
Me too. I would really have loved to see more of him. But
well, it's comics. I mean, they can.
That's
technically
true.
Peacemaker died too.
Yeah, true.
True.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I guess that's true. They can do whatever they want. They can do whatever they want. But I really do. I like him a lot. Yeah, I had already gone into it loving him because of For All Mankind. So like this was just like more of the same for me. But I can see how RoboCop and everything else would have been
It just wasn't the best projects and they weren't giving him the opportunity that he needed. And so given a better script, a good director, or a better direction, I guess, like
better able to play to his strengths,
exactly,
right?
Yeah. Or maybe the good stuff wasn't left on the cutting room floor, whatever, whatever the case is. I got a good they got a good performance out of him, and I was really taken with him. He and Peacemaker, I think, were my favorites because I liked their juxtaposition. I liked their different types of America. That's really what they were.
Yeah,
here's ultra militant America.
Yeah,
and here's America with a military but with a heart, and let me be kind but also be ruthless when I have to be. Like, and they're but then also to understand that what you think is true might not always be true, and how
do you react when you find out, right?
Like,
do you go the route of like, it doesn't matter because Uncle Sam, whatever, we're just going to keep going with the plan. This is the plan, we're following through on it, whatever, it's for the greater good. Or are you like, no, I'm here because of like principles, and if I find out that like those principles were not why you sent me here, then I'm still going to adhere to my principles, which is like people deserve to know, like I'm here to protect the people. And not protect the government.
Yeah, he's there for the people, or there for the people, and not the government, or even not the idea of the government. And I really like that. I also really liked that Waller has she's always got a plan, then a plan, and Peacemaker was that backup plan because she knew that it's like he's a complete the mission no matter what kind of guy. It doesn't actually really matter what it is because he'll kill any man, woman, or child in the name of peace.
Right.
And that information about Starro, the government being behind the experiments, whatever else, like that's, whatever. I think it's so funny though, because if like that stuff got released, most people would be like, yeah, I figured.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. It was that was a good twist. That was a good twist. I didn't expect this movie to have that level of depth.
Me either. And it doesn't rub it in your face, and that's what I really liked about it. It wasn't this is not a dig, but it's not a Snyder move. Because his are like, it's very clear they're pantheon avatars.
Yeah.
Sure. They're these godly figures that like this and this and this and this, and that's so at the forefront.
Yeah.
And I was just expecting this to really be more of a like, hey, it's the Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
It's some jokes and some action and some this, and there was more heart to it than I expected. Right. But it's also not wearing it so much on its sleeve that it beats you down with it. Where the levity is, the levity is present, but when it's serious, it's serious.
It's serious. Yeah. No, I thought it was better. I didn't watch the trailers really. I tried to keep myself in the dark as much as I could.
Yep.
Just because I wanted to. I've been doing that lately, and I've been enjoying it.
I have too, actually. I've just been, okay, this thing's happening. All right, well, I already know I'm interested, so I'm just going to keep it that way.
Yeah. I've been trying to do that as much as I could do with Black Widow. Did it with this, and I've been happy with the results so far. So I plan to keep doing that. Do we want to talk about the post credits?
Yeah. So Amanda Waller gets smacked in the head with a golf club by her own team.
Yeah.
And so because like she's just willing to kill her whole team, the Suicide Squad, sets that up early because she blows off Savant's head.
Yeah.
So I liked all that. All that was good. and Peacemaker's still alive, and they need him to save the world, quote unquote. We know there's a Peacemaker show coming to HBO Max.
Yes.
We were told it was a prequel, so is it? So it's either a prequel and then something else coming, or you actually get it's like a mixed bag, or they were lying that it was a prequel because they didn't want to spoil that he was,
Could be.
Yeah, which is fine. I don't really care. I don't really care. I just actually really want to see more of that character because I'm interested.
Sure.
And now he's good social commentary.
That's true.
And I love comic books when they do social commentary.
I know this, and I do too.
Yeah, because guess what? They have everyone. They always have.
They always have been,
and they always will.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Superman rounds up wife beaters and politicians in his very first issue.
That's right.
Guess what? It's always social commentary.
That was social commentary at the time.
Yep.
Just because you find it more palatable now doesn't mean it wasn't social commentary at the time.
Correct.
Yeah.
Just to round out just the rest of the squad really quickly before we wrap up.
Yeah.
Polka Dot Man.
Yes.
David Esmalcian. I thought he did a great job. I liked his reasoning. Like, I like that he was like, it's like he see like his mom just like awful.
Yes.
Like Carrie's mom.
Yeah.
Total and that's Carrie, the Stephen King book, for those listening, not Carrie Bradshaw's mom from Sex and the City. I don't know if anybody was confused.
Sure,
about
I'm
that.
sure a lot of people were like, "What?"
Yeah, Mrs. White.
Yeah,
just like total Norman Batesy, but
right.
also like experiments kind of thing, total abuse. And I just like that he like weirdly does her proud, but also gets his revenge all at the same time.
First of all, the way how they managed to play that for laughs every time we saw his mom, everyone looked like his mom, was like hilarious.
Yeah, she actually looked like somebody I used to work with too,
No,
and it was like really hard not
funny.
to. I was like, oh my god, it's insert name here. I don't
But
wanna get her
then
in trouble.
But then the fact that in the end, he's like, I'm a superhero, which is like all his mom wanted him to be.
Yeah,
like,
I know.
Yeah, you're
like,
right. It's
like
this weird, but it's like, isn't that how it is? It's like Stockholm syndrome, right? Like, like he hates her, but at the same time, he's been conditioned to want to do her proud.
That's correct, even though she's not even around anymore, right? And she wasn't there. I just thought that was really strong writing. And again, it doesn't beat you over the head with it. It's just there.
It's just there.
And even like I think the one like it's probably Ratcatcher 2 were the one that you get like the most like rounded thing. But for Ratcatcher 2, I loved because one, Taika Waititi was Ratcatcher 1,
Yes.
which I thought was so fun.
So great.
But like here's a girl who's not everybody on that team is a bad person.
Yeah.
And like she's in prison for maybe the wrong reasons and, like life circumstances and whatever else. And I just thought that was really strong.
Yes.
I thought that was really strong writing as well.
That was very, very nicely done. And the fact that we took that pause during like a big moment, like took that pause and like went back to see her dad, Ratcatcher 1, giving her like the life lesson that she still carries with her today.
That's right.
Just the way that was written in and the way that moment was inserted during like a climax was very cool.
Yes.
Was very, very cool. Like, so lots to love. I love that it was Taika, and I love the way it was handled.
Yep, me too. I think he was actually supposed to be somebody else. And then he like couldn't because of filming something. It might have been Thor: Love and Thunder.
Thor, yeah.
I can't remember what it was. And then he was like, "Actually, I am free. Like, is that role still open?" And James Gunn was like, "It's not, but I'm going to give you something else."
Nice.
I can't remember what he was supposed to be originally, but it doesn't really matter. But I love that King Shark was fabulous to me.
Oh my God, how have we not talked about King Shark?
I know.
Oh my God.
I have King Shark going hand in my head pretty constantly since watching this movie.
Nom nom.
Nom nom. Yeah. I also I have Rick Flag going, no, stay off the line.
Yeah.
Stay off the comms. Like, I just like.
See, I think more about Bloodsport going like, what does he call it? Like, monster is nom nom. Monster is nom nom.
Like, you wouldn't eat your friends, would you? Friends. I love that it's Stallone. That's me too. I mean, he wasn't on set. I guess they tried a few different actors and it didn't really work, and so that's when they actually, because Gunn worked with Stallone previously for Guardians of the Galaxy 2.
That's right.
And, and I think they know each other previous, but he was like, "Can you please come and do this?" And I'm like, "Sure, yeah. Why the hell not?" It's so fun. Yeah, it's like, oh man, I just love. I mean, I like beastly king shark too, like really ripped, like the Flash king shark, like who still looks great. I actually saw like there was a montage of or a collage, I should say, of all different king sharks in different medias, and I was looking at the CG for the Flash and also the CG for this movie, and I was like, my God, the Flash is so good.
The Flash one was really good. Was really good.
But I love Tubby King Shark.
Yes.
Because he actually looks a little bit more like a shark. Like,
yeah.
Ripped humanoid King Shark looks more like a human with a shark's head.
Correct.
Whereas, like, Tubby King Shark, kind of, like, sharks are tubby. I hate to break it to everybody.
Right,
Like,
yeah.
They're kind of tubs.
He shouldn't have, like, a man's physique through and through.
No, not exactly. But I did like it, mostly because I also love the Harley Quinn show. And I love that version of King Shark.
Yes.
So it's just like, it's just a good marriage of those type of...
really... Yeah, really, truly is.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. It's all real fun. And
it was fun. It was a fun movie. The action set pieces were really well done.
Yeah, man. We didn't even talk about Starro. I didn't even.
Yeah, Starro. Yeah. The very human looking eye on Starro was I don't know. I never pictured it that way. So like being like that sort of like, oh, that looks like a human eye. Like it gave it a very, as much as it's a giant starfish, it gave it sort of a human.
It gave it an intelligence. I think.
Yes, exactly.
Yep, I like that. I liked its flaps opening to like make sound and like where the other little Starros come from. I thought all of it was good. I thought it was menacing without also with still being like, it's a giant starfish.
It's a giant starfish. Like it's still ridiculous.
Oh yeah,
but like.
But when the Suicide Squad was like, okay, we're Task Force X,
yeah,
whatever. When they were like, okay, we got to figure out how to take this down. I was literally like, how the hell do you take this down?
Yeah,
like I actually like, because normally you can kind of see what characters are going to do and how they're going to do it. I could not piece this together for the life of me, and I loved that it tied all the way back to Javelin.
Yes.
Like, you take your one, and you're like, what? I'm what? Like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do with
I'm
this.
waiting for God to tell me what to do with it.
Yeah.
Jesus. Yeah, him too.
Yeah, I thought that was great. It actually helped play into Harley's gymnast background, which doesn't get touted a lot, especially in the films at least. And I thought that like all of that was real strong.
Yeah, no, they managed to make Starro like menacing. I mean, they're like, oh, we got a kaiju situation on our hands. Like, oh, okay, now this is a Godzilla movie. Cool. Yeah. Except it wasn't in a giant city. It's in Corto Maltese. Like, again, not just more like, oh, a big city like being destroyed porn. Like they managed to have that be and obviously very intentional, but like, let's have it set in a different place to give it, we can do different things with it other than just office buildings like being torn down.
Because truthfully, this is really like it's a mixed genre movie, right? Because comic book movies are kind of a genre unto themselves.
Sure.
But they're also like a good comic book movie takes a lot of like takes a lot of subgenre stuff. Like it's also a spy movie. It's also a this. It's also a this. And here you have like the action adventure comic book movie, but it's also a kaiju. It's also a political thriller. It's the Guns of Navarone.
Yeah.
Plus a kaiju movie. Plus, I don't know, some movie where they go and dictators and something. I can't think of an example right now, but like, it's Black Hawk Down. I don't know.
Sure.
Like, whatever. You know what? I just like that. It's all of those things together. But at the end of the day, you just still really just had fun with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is many things, but all of them fun, all of them good.
I kind of wish it wasn't as gory as it was.
It was a little gratuitous in the gore.
I mean, like the gore doesn't bother me, but like it's a movie that I'm like, if you didn't make sploosh jokes, wiener jokes, like all these different things, if you didn't like, it's pretty okay for somebody to watch for a pretty all age. And so like I feel like. Normally I'm fine. Like, you want to make it R, go for it. You know what I mean? Like, that's fine. Like, comic book movies for all ages, that's cool. But also, it really wasn't worth the things that it had to make it R.
Sure.
And then, but that's whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. I feel the same way. But very enjoyable all around. I was happy with it. I enjoyed it a lot.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what? Also, I enjoy. You telling people where to find us.
Oh, like when I tell them they can go to beerwithgeeks.com.
Exactly like that.
Or patreon.com/thoughtbubbleaudio.
Also there.
And pay us, please. And, you could go to Apple Podcasts or Stitcher or Spotify or Overcast or whatever. I don't know. Castro, any of the podcast places. They can go there. They can rate and review us on Apple Podcasts. Visit thoughtbubbleaudio.com to see our great friends at all of our other shows on the network, that kind of stuff. That's the kind of stuff you like. And beerwithgeeks.com, at beerwithgeeks@gmail.com, at beerwithgeeks on Twitter. Those are the kinds of things that you like it when I tell people about those things. That's what
yes,
like.
I love when you tell people about those things. Yeah,
Okay.
You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I should do that then.
Yeah. Or, just rewind 30 seconds.
Oh, okay. Yeah. We'll just do that. We'll do that.
Okay, cool. All right. Well, anyway, thanks for being here, Frank, in your own home. And,
I'm happy. I'm always happy to be right here in my own home. Wherever I can be.
Yeah.
As much as I can be.
And so until next time,
cheers.
boom, 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 boom. We will cheer you back. Cheer you back. We will.